Here's your word for the day from Calvary in Lake Havasu. Visit us on the web at calvaryaz.com.
Hi, Calvary. I'm Chase, your North Campus worship leader, bringing you today's word for the day. Today we'll be diving into Mark chapter 9, verses 33 through 37, a short but powerful moment with Jesus and his disciples. I encourage you to read the whole thing on your own, but for now, here's the story. We'll start in chapter 9, verse 33. And they came to Capernaum, and when he was in the house, he asked them, "What were you discussing on the way?" So Jesus and his disciples, they're walking to Capernaum. They're in the house, and once they arrive, he asks them the question, "What were you arguing about on the road?" But then it goes on, and the disciples, they stayed silent. Why? Because on the way, they had been arguing about who among them was the greatest. Now, Jesus already knew what they'd been discussing, so he sat down, something rabbis often did when teaching something important, and he says, "Anyone who wants to be first must be the very last and the servant of all." Then he did something unexpected. He brought a little child into the middle of them. He took the child in his arms and he said, "Whoever welcomes one of these little children in my name welcomes me. And whoever welcomes me does not welcome me, but the one who sent me." That's the whole scene. Simple, but packed with meaning. We learn something deeply countercultural here. See, in Jesus' time, children weren't considered important. They had no power, they had no status. So for Jesus to place a little child in the center and say, "This is what matters," now that was radical. He flipped the idea of greatness upside down. True greatness in God's kingdom isn't about power, platform, status, or popularity. It's about humility, servanthood, and valuing those the world tends to overlook. It's not about climbing higher, it's about stooping lower. It's about welcoming, serving, and loving even the least among us. Because when we do, we welcome Jesus himself. So, here's a question for you. Who in your life or who in your community right now might be considered least? And how can you serve or welcome them the way that Jesus would? This week, let's choose humility, let's choose greatness, and let's choose it God's way. Thanks for tuning in to today's Word for the Day. Have a great day, Calvary.